Hey guys, welcome back to the Educated Barfly. Up until now, I've already done 5 takes of this, and I don't usually have to do that many takes. I don't know why this is so hard today. Today, I've got a special episode for you. We are going to be reconstructing the classic drink, the Cuba Libre. Cuba Libre means free Cuba. And to make it a little bit more meta, we're actually not reconstructing a regular Cuba Libre. We are going to be reconstructing Paul Harrington's 1995 reconstruction of the Cuba Libre. So in 1995, bartender Paul Harrington had been asked by Wired magazine to help put some cocktails in a online section, cocktail section that they were launching. And what a lot of people don't know is actually that whole Wired thing actually helped to bolster the cocktail renaissance that was going to be coming up in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Anyway, based on a suggestion from a Venezuelan customer, he decided that what he would do is take a little lime juice, add it in with a little bit of Angostura bitters and a half an ounce of gin, and it just really transformed the cocktail, kind of tamping down the sweetness and then bringing up the spicy and earthy tones inside the Coke. Now, the way that I've reconstructed, as you can see, we don't have Coke up here. I actually made my own house-made cola syrup, and so I wanted to further reconstruct the cocktail by doing that. So, true to form, I'm going to give you a little short history, and then we're going to get into the cocktail. The short history on the Cuba Libre is that it was created around 1900. This is right at the end, or maybe like 1898, 1899. This is right at the end of the Spanish-American War. As you know, the Spanish-American War was over control of Cuba. And the drink of the day was really just a shot of rum and a squeeze of lime. So the American troops that were stationed on Cuba had brought Coca-Cola with them. Somebody very smart decided, why don't we do our regular shot of rum and then our squeeze of lime, but then why don't we just add Coca-Cola to that? And it became an iconic, classic thing. I was going to give you the short history on Coke. It has kind of a cool history. You know, it was created by this guy named John Pemberton, who was a pharmacist from Georgia. And really, a lot of people know that cocaine was in the original recipe for it, but not a lot of people know that Bordeaux wine was actually in it, and it was billed as a cure-all, a lot like Angostura bitters. So I kind of feel like with the Angostura bitters and the cola syrup, we're kind of coming full circle. And, you know, I told you that history on Coke because I think Coke started it as a craft product, and we have made our own cola syrup. Now, I'm not going to be arrogant and say that this tastes like Coca-Cola, but this is really awesome. And you will like it, and I highly recommend that you make it at home. But if you don't want to make it at home, and you just want to make this drink, you can go out and get yourself some Coke. I just implore you to please go get the Mexican Coke, which is not made with high fructose corn syrup, and it is made with sugar, just plain old sugar. Cool. That was a mouthful. Let's get into this cocktail and show you how to make it. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, I grabbed my jigger, but actually the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 3 to 4 dashes of Angostura bitters, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Then we're going to take our gin. Sorry, I'm going to put that down. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of gin. And it can really be any gin you want. Somebody once asked me, hey, why do you always use Beefeater? Why don't you use Plymouth or something? And you know what? You can use Plymouth if you want. You can use Beefeater. You can use No. 3. You can use Tanqueray if you want. Just make sure that whatever you're using is citrus forward and is kind of low in the juniper. So we're going to add that into our cocktail. And then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of light rum. I chose the Havana Club, but this is not the Cuban Havana Club, which I would love to. This is actually the Havana Club made by Bacardi. And Bacardi used to be a Cuban brand, but when Fidel Castro took power in 1959, they actually were exiled and they had to move to Puerto Rico, which is where it's made now. And then the last thing we're going to do is put 1 ounce, or like, I don't know, let's say like 1 and a little bit ounces of Coke syrup. That's really to taste. So however much you want to do, however much you think is palatable, you put it in there. And then we're just going to add some ice. Today we're not in the bar, so we've got ice in a thing, and we don't have an ice scoop. And we're going to shake. All right, that should be enough. 8 to 10 seconds of a shake, that's all you need. I'm going to add in a couple cubes of ice to the glass. Those have been nice and tempered, as you can see. A little wet, so. And then we're just going to add in our Cuba Libre. And then a couple ounces of soda water. And then, last but not least, garnish with a lime wedge. And there you go, the Cuba Libre Preparado.